And I do hereby declare that the said Diana Maddock is duly elected as Member of Parliament for the said constituency. Thank you very much.
So there's the result of the Christchurch by-election. The Liberal Democrats take it. They overturn a majority of 23,000 for the Tories. The Liberal Democrats having achieved the biggest swing against a government in a by-election and the biggest fall in the Conservative vote ever recorded. Of the by-election, taken by the Liberal Democrats, Labour in second place, and the Conservatives pushed down into third place. There are the raw figures. In a moment we'll just see the share of the vote, and this is how the vote broke. Liberal Democrats on 39%.
The people of this constituency have spoken for Britain. They have reduced the Conservative majority in the House of Commons to single figures for the first time in 16 years.
The Conservatives have just 16 seats, down 14 on 1989. Labour has 60 seats, up 11, while the Liberal Democrats captured their first 2 European seats.
Say to the Prime Minister how much I welcome his change of mind on the paedophiles register. This is very welcome. This must be, I would have thought, the fastest U-turn in history. That there's now been a U-turn even before the Queen's Speech debate has started. What a government. And I think that was a pretty good example of why and how this government has failed in all sorts of ways.
Live at 5 with Bob Friend and Stephanie Callister.
Good evening. John Major ended the uncertainty once and for all today and confirmed that the election will be held on May the 1st.
Can Mr Major really pull it off again, do you think?
Well, it's an uphill struggle if you look at the opinion polls. The last one had Labour with a 24% lead.
More money for public services will be a key feature of the Liberal Democrats' appeal.
This election is now about a very, very, very clear question. It's about 2 parties who have decided that the thing to offer, who have agreed that the thing to offer is a temporary and phony tax cut of a penny in income tax, and one party who says that money should now be invested in schools and hospitals and our long-term future.
Look, I've got a problem and I need your advice. It's not really my problem. It's something that's puzzling the Liberal Democrats. But as I am a Lib Dem, I'm puzzled too. It's a strange kind of problem. It's nothing to do with a party that's doing well, going from strength to strength. And nothing to do with Paddy Ashdown, because you trust him. And it's nothing to do with our policies either, because you say you agree with them. The polls show that half of you, 1 of every 2 people watching this now, would vote for the Liberal Democrats if you thought we could win.
Well, thank you, Alan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along to our crowded press conference. It gives me great pleasure today to be able to launch the Liberal Democrat manifesto, Make the Difference. It is, ladies and gentlemen, the only manifesto in this election published by the main parties to which a fully costed menu with prices is attached. And that's what makes this manifesto not only unique, but also a manifesto to be believed in and trusted. We are told that nothing can be done, that it has to be like this. We are told we can't invest any more in our schools and hospitals because people won't pay for it. We are told that the poor mustn't be mentioned in this election because their votes aren't important. We are told that we can't change the way we live to protect our environment because people won't think long-term in Britain. Well, I reject that, and Liberal Democrats reject that too.
And I recall very well before the last election when I visited Hereford, I think it was a sunnier day than this, but our prospects weren't sunnier than they are now, because in a town like this and right across the West Country and right across up through the borders and right up through the marches and into Wales, it is the Liberal Democrats now in seats like this who is challenging the Tories in seats where they must be beaten.
There it is, 10 o'clock, and we say Tony Blair is to be Prime Minister and a landslide is likely. And reaction from Sedgefield already down there on the right in the Labour Club, all applauding there, Conservative Party headquarters, rather more sombre scenes. So here are the details. Tony Blair to be Prime Minister, and this is why. Labour, 47%. The Conservatives, 29%, according to our exit poll. That would be the worst result, not just this century, but if you care to go back that far, to the Tory vote after the Great Reform Act in 1932, when they were led by the Duke of Wellington. Liberal Democrat gain here, Sir John Cope defeated, majority 2,000.
Paddy Ashdown is going to have no fewer than 44 MPs under his command there. 29 others, of course, including Martin Bell. There's the winning post coming up now, the 330 line you have to cross, and here comes Tony Blair's Labour Party, spinning along through the winning post right the way past with 423 MPs. Now, of course, they won't all fit on that side. Some of them have to come round and sit on the opposition benches. They won't fit.
The Paddy Ashdown arriving at Liberal Democrat Party headquarters.
We are the largest force of Liberal Democrats and Liberals that this country has had since the days of Lloyd George. And we will use that force, we will use the vote that people have given us in the next Parliament with a hugely increased number of Liberal Democrat members of Parliament to fight every minute, every second, every hour.
I should say to you that I have just accepted the Majesty of the Queen's kind offer to form a new administration of government in this country.
He insists he'd always planned to go in the middle of this Parliament and had told the Prime Minister as much directly after the election. Suspicious minds at Westminster are busy searching for deeper reasons, but he just says at 58 it's time to move on.
Liberal Democrats under Paddy Ashdown's leadership has moved from a party of protest to a party of power. We now govern in the country and we give people the benefit of Liberal Democrat government at the local level. We're having an influence at national level and we're getting engaged at national level in the things that really make Britain a better place.
The Liberal Democrats are about to reveal who will succeed Paddy Ashdown as party leader. This is the scene, as we can see it there, at the Constitution Club in central London, where the announcement is going to be made any minute.
Simon Hughes now had a total of 21,833 votes. Charles Kennedy now had a total of 28,425 votes. And since he now has 50% of the vote, over 50% of the vote, Charles Kennedy is duly elected the leader of the Liberal Democrats.